Wow. If I did it in 10 seconds, how quick can a thief actually get into your house? The things we're going to go across in this video really is if you have a single bore door, we're going to actually drill out and make it a double bore door. The difference between a single bore door and a double bore door really is you got a single bore has just a turn handle, a double bore door has a turn handle and a deadbolt. It has both. Now, the things that we're going to use to reinforce the door, if you have a deadbolt on your home and it is not a single bore door like I had here, we are going to use this. You're going to want to order this. Everything that we have showing here will be listed down below. And there is affiliate links, which we do earn a small commission for. So we got security plan A, security plan B, and we're going to have a security plan C, which I will cover in a bit about deterring thieves from your home. Everybody should be doing these today because people have, I'm sorry, this world has just gotten downright crazy. And that's what led me to this. Between what I just did and what I saw at my brother's home made me realize maybe this is something we need to talk about some more. All right, let's get into this. The tools that we're going to need in order to pull this off, if you don't own them, you're going to want to order them, is a door installation kit. DeWalt makes a phenomenal one. I love it. Here is mine. It's a piece of junk. Okay. And really, I wouldn't even recommend this to anybody. I use it as a guide, and that is it. I would not rely on it. It will bite you in the butt. As you see here, I'm actually drilling the front hole, and this thing is crooked. I did not realize I was more focused on the video, not the installation, and I had to do some modifications. This is what happened. You see how crooked it is? Yeah. Okay. The DeWalt one actually has a handle that you crank this thing tight so you can stick it on, get everything lined up, crank it tight, and it stays there. Nice kit. Very nice kit. That's what I'm going to end up going to next. I'm not a DeWalt fan, but sometimes they do make some decent stuff. Now, you see this tiny little screw? Yeah, that's the only thing that's holding me from kicking your door open. That's why I'm able to get the door open so fast, because that little bitty screw right there, that thing's only 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch. Insane. Okay, we're going to want to put some 3.5-inch screws in there that's got some meat on it like this. Okay, and we're going to talk about this. You're going to need 4 of these screws, and I'll get more into detail on that in a second. So we're going to remove those plates, put this security plate on here. That quadrupled the strength, because really we're talking about 400 times the strength of holding power. Let's do the installation. Let's do this thing.
Welcome to Let's DIY My Home, where like-minded people are working together to tackle their project. Everything from a complicated remodel to as simple as repairing a door. That's DIYMyHome.com. We'll see you there.
The first thing we need to do is get the parts together we're going to be installing. We need to order a door security plate. This should be done for every single door. If I have a standard steel door on my house and the front entry door, I would use this. Okay. My garage, I have no problem using this. My side entry, I have no problem using this. Okay. We're going to need to order up a double bore door security plate. Okay. We're also going to be giving away the slag entry, keyless entry door lock right here. That was supposed to have been a video done right after my last one last year, but I had a crisis come up and I'm just now getting back to videos. This baby's going out the door. 60 days from the date of this video being posted, somebody's going to get a $150 keyless entry system to their house for their door. Perfect for the rear garage door, side entry door, shed door. I love it because there's no key, which means you can't pick it. The little thing just spins. Subscribe below and then go over to letsdiymyhome.com, and all the instructions and details are going to be in there. All right, you guys got all your parts? You ready to go? Let's do this. Take off your doorknobs, take off your deadbolt. If you have a double bore door, you're going to be done in 3 seconds flat with this, because all you're going to do is take that stuff off on the front of the door, the 1 3/4 part. Whoops, wrong thing. You will see 2 slide mechanisms. One of them is the door latch. The other one is the deadbolt mechanism. There's 2 screws there and 2 up there on the end of the door. Take those out. You can leave the mechanism in place because this is just going to slide through. And as you can see, there's 2 holes here, 2 holes there. They line up here and here for top and bottom. Slip this on, screw it on. At that point, go ahead and put your deadbolt in and your handle back together. This plate is in place. Then you just have to zip screw the 4 holes, and this is done. That's how quick and simple this is. Now, I only have twist handle. The fun begins. You're going to take same thing, take the door handle part out, take the assembly off, set it aside, leave the mechanism in there, push this on, center, screw holes should line up with these screw holes, push it in nice and tight, then take a pencil, like you see me doing here, mark here, 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 and here on the door. You see? Once we do that, you go grab a ruler, square, whatever you want to do, connect those 4 dots. That's going to give us a center point. Now, what I do not want you doing is what you see me doing right here, right now. Screwing it without setting it, doing a set to it. Not a smart move, because if that happened to have been a very expensive door and something happened, and believe it or not, I've seen it happen more than once, you go to drill and the bit runs across the door. Now you're outside of the cover plate, you're patching, you're having to paint the door, and you guys are cussing me out. So grab yourself a punch or a long nail. Right at the crisscross of those 2 points, put that nail there, take a hammer and tap it so you put a little indentation in, or use a punch and put a little indentation in there. What's that going to do is this drill bit's going to ride in there and it's not going to walk. Guaranteed perfect set every single time when you do that. Don't gamble like you just saw me do. When you penetrate through the door, you're then going to, you'll know it, you'll hit some insulation, you'll get through the, and hit the other side of the door skin. You'll hit a abrupt stop again. Go ahead, drill through that. When this bit pops through, this thing's going to slide in the other 1 1/4 or whatever it is. Stop. Take this out, go back from the outside like you see me doing here. Drill it now to the inside. Okay. And if it's a wood door or fiberglass door, do yourself a favor. Run this thing in reverse for a moment. Get yourself a little groove going there. Then go ahead and go forward. That'll prevent any splintering or anything like that. And then when you're done, it's going to look like a professional did it, really. The only difference between a contractor and a homeowner is we've done it a couple of times. You haven't. Then we're going to take our new DeWalt clamp. With the DeWalt, you actually have a locking handle. So you stick it up there. You have it all lined up with the holes properly. Looks good, right? I can now take my drill right here, come up here on the side of the door and start drilling through it. I'm going to drill about a half inch. Okay. Or if you feel comfortable, go ahead. Just leave it in place and drill all the way through it. This is strictly a guide to make sure you put your hole in the proper place for your deadbolt mechanism, your locking mechanism that would slide in there when you're done. Okay. That's it. That's how simple it is to drill out a hole in a door to install a deadbolt. Nothing very difficult about it. Now, once we have that done, we can put this cover back on. If by chance on your door where the deadbolt went, if you notice that there was a little if you notice that there's a little plastic thing with a couple of screws, I hope you took that off. If not, do it now, please. Okay? Because if you have that, when you remove that plastic thing, that's what this is. That's what it's designed for, is for this to fit in there perfect. You slip that back over the deal, slip this mechanism in there. Depending if you drilled a 2 3/4 inch hole, if you stick this in here and it doesn't go all the way in, and you got a huge gap or something, well, then you may need to unlatch this and spin it like you see me doing here. Put this in, read the directions briefly. Stick this in the hole, put this cover plate back all over it. Now, we go to install the strike plate. This is the most important part of the installation. If you choose not to buy that thing, so be it. This, I can't stress enough. If you got 4 doors going outside in your house, go get 4 of these. If you got 2, go get 2, whatever. You must have these. This was what would have took me from a 10-minute break-in to God knows how long. A long time if I would use 3.5-inch screws, not these short things that came with this thing. Dumb. Okay. So what we're going to do now is take your door lock, extend the deadbolt out, close it up against the door jamb like you see me do. You're going to take a pencil and put a mark right here, right there, just as I'm doing. Nothing different. Only thing that is doing is telling me exactly where this deadbolt needs to be drilled out at. That's what those marks are about. I'm going to take my level, my ruler, whatever I have, a square, line it up, draw a line right across the inside of that door jamb. The next thing I need to do is determine where do I want the hole within that door jamb, you see? And the best way to do this, honestly, is you already have your bottom one here. So measure from the rubber seal part of the frame. There's a little piece of wood there called a stop. Measure from that stop over to here. Carry that over to the top. As long as your door is nice and tight and solid, that's what you need. Put a mark right there, draw a line down on both sides. So now we got a little square cut out, right? Then what we're going to do, take our little bit again that we use to cut the hole for your locking mechanism. Believe it or not, that's the perfect size. Go over to your door jamb, center it, drill it out. You go to put this in, okay? And by chance, it wants to go in at an angle because it isn't far enough out. I'll put a set of chisels down below in the link as well. Boink, boink, cut them all out just as you see me doing for a single bore. Let's just say I'm not doing this. Then what we're having to do here is take our knife, cut it all out like you see me. You still need to do it here too if we didn't drill out far enough. We don't want to splinter it. We want it to look professional. If by chance, the part I forgot to tell you is now that we got the hole drilled out, close the door, stick this between the door. If it's free and you can wiggle this a little bit, you're good to go. If it is extremely tight, you are now going to have to trace around this thing all the way around, all parts, just like you see me doing here for the single one, except now we got to do it for a double. And you're going to spend probably a half hour, 45 minutes shaving enough wood to make up this 1/16 of an inch depth is about what it is. So it's not a whole lot. You just got to shave it all out. Use a razor blade, cut around that pencil line, and that will just guarantee no splitting. And if no splitting occurs and you put this all in and it fits perfect, you are now a professional. It's that simple. Okay. What we want to do is the 2 screws to the back side of this mechanism right here, the back side. We want to take and actually put the screws through there. And those need to be 3.5 inches long. Well, I guess like this one. I've got a few of them sitting here. I believe these are a number 6. Take this with you to your local hardware store to get the proper screws because you need 4 of them. If you really want security, put 2 more in there. I don't know that it's going to matter. So the whole back side of screws with 3.5 inches to 4. The remaining holes, you can use the little cutesy screws that came with it. You put a solid piece of steel between them, and then you screw these directly into the wall studs. You see, the jamb extension, that's really what it is a door jamb. That's what you're screwing this to. That's 3/4 of an inch. Usually we have 3/4 of an inch to an inch gap between the door jamb and the framing. We need to penetrate through that and then hit the wall studs. Okay, so, and those typically on the end will be 3 inches. We bit something solid. That means this is not going to break. My door jambs aren't going to go flying off when somebody kicks my door open. They're going to end up with a broke foot or an awful sore shoulder, or they're going to give up because even with the Wonder Bar, they can't pop it anymore. This is huge. We have one final step we need to do. If we took 1 screw out of each one of those hinges, put a 3.5-inch to 4-inch hole or screw in there on each one of those hinges. He's not coming in there either. He is SOL. You're going to need a truck with a battering ram to get through that door. And even at that, I assure you, part of the inside walls are going to be busted out. All right, so we got that problem resolved. The next issue we have is, and by the way, the center point is actually designed to get you screwing in straight with these. Because if you get the first couple crooked, this thing gets installed kittywampus. The latch may be tight, but the deadbolt may not be. By using a center point, it is designed to fit this hole, and it puts a drill right dead center, puts a hole dead center, so you're not off. Number 3, there was a third thing. I talked about security. Go online right below. I'm going to have a link on these, or on my website, there's going to be a link. All this stuff is both places. These stickers, they're 3 inches by 3 inches. 3 inches, that means it's about that wide by that tall. Right there. That's all it is. Put one on every single corner of your windows downstairs, on the house and the garage. That way, if you have somebody coming in your yard that thinks they want to enter, they see, smile, you're on camera. I don't care what kind of thief he is. He's going to make a U-turn real quick. Put these on the windows again. I can't stress it enough. Everything. We got, in my case, I got cameras. I now got reinforced doors for plan B. And then I got stickers for plan C, 1, 2, and 3. The odds of somebody, like I said, messing with my property is pretty close to nil. There's pretty good signs that you're on my land, you're in trouble. You're on camera. You may not have a camera, but that's going to be their mentality. With that said, okay, you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.